Hello, Doc and classmates. I am Mary Joy I. Carayon, and for today, I'll be reporting Learning Content 5 Using Content Knowledge to Build Meaningful Curriculum. And this content has three key elements. 5A, understanding content knowledge and resources in academic disciplines, language and literacy, the arts, music, creative movement, dance, drama, visual arts, mathematics, science, physical activity, physical education, health and safety, and social studies. 5B, knowing and using the central concepts, inquiry tools, and structures of content areas or academic disciplines. The last one, 5C, using own knowledge, appropriate early learning standards, and other resources to design, implement, and evaluate developmentally meaningful and challenging curriculum for each child. But first and foremost, we are going to define first what is a content knowledge. So, a content knowledge, by the way, this is all about the body of knowledge and information that teachers teach and that students are expected to learn in a given subject or content area, such as English, language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. And by the way, content knowledge generally refers to the facts, concepts, theories, and principles that are taught and learned in specific academic courses rather than to related skills such as reading, writing, or researching that students also learn in school. The next one is we will be talking about the importance of content knowledge. By the way, our own content knowledge affects how we interpret the content goals we are expected to reach with our students. It affects the way we hear and respond to our students and their questions. It also affects our ability to explain clearly and to ask good questions. And now we will define curriculum. A curriculum that draws on research assists teachers in identifying important concepts and skills, as well as effective methods for fostering children's learning and development. A well articulated curriculum guides teachers so they can plan learning experiences that promote children's growth across a broad range of developmental and content areas. Curriculum also maximizes children's acquisition of desired knowledge and skills through the effective use of time and materials and offers opportunities for children to learn through play and through structured activities, individually and in groups according to their developmental needs and interest. And by the way, the curriculum standard includes 11 topic areas. And first, we will talk about the essential characteristics topic. All programs should have a written statement of philosophy guiding their educational goals. A comprehensive age appropriate curriculum guides teachers' development and intentional implementation of learning opportunities that are consistent with the program's goals and objectives for children of all ages. The written curriculum framework should provide a coherent focus for planning children's experiences. It should also allow for adaptations and modifications to ensure access to the curriculum for all children. And at the same time, for preschoolers and kindergartners, the curriculum allows teachers to intentionally plan opportunities for play, including dramatic play and blocks that relates specifically to the classroom topics of study. Like, for example, we have here farm animals, transportations. We also have seasons and also insects. Comprehensive curriculum includes content, concepts, and activities that foster social, emotional, physical, language, and cognitive development. Curriculum for cognitive development includes key areas like literacy, the mathematics, science, technology, social studies, health and safety, creative expression, and appreciation of the arts. It is important that curriculum be implemented in a way that reflects the family, values, beliefs, experiences, cultures, and languages of all enrolled children. And of course, the classroom materials and equipment used to implement the curriculum, such as the books, music, dolls, puzzles, toys, dramatic play props, should be representative of the lives of the enrolled children and their families. Curriculum materials should also represent the diverse cultures, languages, ages, abilities, and genders found in social as a whole. Include materials and equipment that accommodate children's individuals' needs and special needs. Examples of individual needs include culturally relevant dietary or clothing practices and family circumstances such as poverty, homelessness, and parental military deployment. Now, each class environment should contain a rich variety of things to engage young learners. All classroom materials and equipment should provide for children's safety while also being appropriately challenging. Look for toys and other materials that are interactive and encourage exploration, experimentation, and discovery. So, to encourage and support independent use, classroom materials and equipment must be readily accessible to children, and at the same time to support children's developing interest and skill levels. Materials and equipment can change over time to reflect current curriculum concepts and content. And of course, the materials and equipment used to implement the curriculum in infants, toddlers, and twos classrooms should encourage exploration, experimentation, and discovery, and promote physical development through self initiated movement. Yes, just like this. And at the same time, we are going to proceed now to the social and emotional development. And of course, this is all about fostering children's healthy social and emotional development through the development of friendship, self regulation skills, empathy, and the ability to resolve conflict in positive ways. All children have varied opportunities to engage throughout the day with teaching staff who are attentive and responsive to them and who facilitate their social competence and their ability to learn through interacting with others. We know also that they also have some varied opportunities when it comes to recognizing and naming their feelings and the feelings of others. And also, they have this kind of opportunities to learn the skills needed to regulate their emotions, behavior, and attention. At the same time, they have varied opportunities to develop a sense of competence and a positive attitudes toward learning, such as persistence, engagement, curiosity, and mastery. Children have opportunities to learn to understand, empathize with, and take into account other people's perspectives. It's because they have that one. So they have that varied opportunities to interact positively, respectfully, and cooperatively with others, learn from and with one another, and resolve conflicts in constructive ways. Right? And now we are going to proceed to some examples of activities in social and emotional development. First, we have this one. Read, read, read. By the way, we know that there are tons of children's books featuring interesting main characters and storylines that teach social emotional skills. Reading about characters they can relate to in situation they can relate to, it would absolutely help young children learn valuable lessons. Yes, in the next example, it's sing. Oh, you know what? In this activity, different emotions evoke different feelings in our bodies, and it will also teach our students that to help them learn to identify what is really going on. Also, we can find some role play scenarios and reflection questions. And the next one, we also have this make emotion mask. Oh, these masks are a great tool for talking about feelings. And all you need is paper plates cut in half, craft sticks, tape, and markers. The activity will focus on four emotions: happy, mad, sad, and silly. For each emotion and each mask, you're just going to make a face and then ask the class to identify the emotion it represents. Once they correctly identify the emotion, have them use the marker to draw that face on one of the plates. You can use these marks during read alouds, hold up the mask that shows how the main character is feeling, or during class conversations to reinforce their understanding of what different feelings look like. And also, we have this start each day with a check in. It's unique, right? You know what? This chart is fun because it will help students communicate how they're feeling. Position, yes, you're just going to position it next to your classroom door and have students point to the emoji that most closely matches how they're feeling as they enter. You know what? This activity will help our students to get in the habit of monitoring their emotions and will give us valuable information about our students' mood during the day. Mhm. So, by the way, preschoolers and kindergartens. Yes, we're going to proceed now to the physical development. Okay, so the next topic area. Okay, so we know that physical development is very necessary. It should be given equipment, or somewhat like the preschoolers and the kindergartners should be given equipment they can use to engage in large motor experiences that will stimulate a variety of skills. Yes. So it is time for them to somewhat like develop their physical um about to develop balance, strength, and coordination, and to enhance sensory motor integration. Yeah, so we have some examples here. These older children need physical experiences ranging from familiar to new, and then challenging, new and challenging, such as this one. The first one is traffic cone bike courses, or we also have that impromptu obstacle courses and sprinklers. It is time for them to learn physical games that have rules and structures, such as, hockey pucky, Simon Says, red light, something like that. Children with varying activities much uh, must be able to have large motor experiences similar to those of their peers. Yes, so, and now we are going to talk about language development. So, in language development, the goals and objectives for this, it's for language acquisition, address both verbal and nonverbal communication. And these are all rooted in ethnic and other community traditions. All right. And at the same time, in language development, the curriculum must provide all children with opportunities for language acquisition that align just what read a while ago with programs philosophy of education and include consideration of family and community perspectives. For example, children should be able to experience oral and written communication in a language their family uses or understands. Children should also have opportunities to hear their family's preferred terminology, example pronouns, body parts or functions, or familial relationships included in classroom use. Toddlers and older children should have experiences that develop vocabulary, such as participating in conversations and field trips and hearing and reading books. And the curriculum and learning environment should create opportunities for children to have discussions with teachers or with each other. For instance, these can be discussions about solving interpersonal problems or solving problems related to the physical world. Example, how to retrieve a ball that has gone over a fence. Oh, this is very practical. Or using ramps to make cars to go faster or further. Or putting puzzles together. So, these are just some of the examples. Now, how about um, early literacy? By the way, preschool and kindergarten children should have books. Read to them at least twice a day in full day programs and at least once daily in half day programs. Children must be able to explore books on their own and have places that are conducive to the quiet enjoyment of books. The book selection should include various types of books. It could be storybooks, factual books, books with rhymes, alphabet books, numbers, counting books, and wordless books. Yes. And by the way, in early literacy, we teachers should read in an engaging manner, sometimes to individual children, sometimes to small groups, 2 to 6 children, and sometimes to large groups. They should help, or we should help children identify the various parts of books, such as the cover, title page, spine, beginning and ending, and differentiate print from pictures. And some books should be read in or repeated occasions, and children should have chances to retell. Yes, they would really love this, and reenact events in storybooks. And this is a very great strategy for our students or pupils to develop their literacy. The curriculum should link books to other topics in the curriculum, right? And preschool and kindergarten children should have multiple and varied opportunities to write. Like, for example, a variety of materials and experiences in the classroom must be provided to help them recognize and write letters of the alphabet. So just like that. And also letters and words can be posted at eye level or laminated cards, or both. This is very common in every classroom. Books and writing materials and activities should be readily available in art, dramatic play, in other learning centers. And by the way, um, kindergarten and the preschool children, they need to develop phonological awareness as part of learning to read and write. So we teachers can encourage children to play with the sound of language, including syllables. Yes, so word families and phonemes using rhymes, poems, songs, and finger plays. Children should be helped to identify letters and the sounds they represent. This is very necessary. They should be taught to recognize and produce words that have the same beginning and ending sounds. Teachers should encourage children's self initiated efforts to write letters that represent the sounds of two words. So it's just like that. Now we're going to proceed to early mathematics. How about in early mathematics? Of course, we know that um, toddlers and other children need exposure to many activities and materials that help build an understanding of numbers and of number names and the relationship to object quantities and to symbols. There should be toys and other objects in the learning environment that children can categorize by shape, yes, by size and color, or by two of these attributes at a time. Children should have learning experience that encourage them to integrate mathematical terms, like for example, more, less, take away, add, equals, yes, into their, especially into their everyday conversation. And so we teachers can introduce number concepts, by counting out loud for toddlers and twos, encouraging older children to count, incorporating counting books, games, and the use of manipulatives and sequencing. Yes. So now we're going to proceed to science. How about in science? Of course, curriculum should, provide or should include activities that encourage children to use their five senses. This is very necessary to observe, explore, and experiment with scientific phenomena. Include simple tools such as bug boxes, binoculars, magnifying glasses, gears, levers, and scales in your science learning center so that preschoolers and kindergartners can observe object and scientific phenomena. Yes, and also we should provide experiences and materials that allow children to collect data and to represent and document their findings. Example, through they're going to document it by drawing it or by graphing. So we should plan activities and provide experiences that encourage children to think. Of course, there's this science, question, and reason about observed and inferred phenomena. Okay? So now we're going to proceed to the creative expression and appreciation for the arts. Yeah, so we know that the daily projects should provide children with many chances to develop and widen the repertoire of skills that support self expression in the visual arts, like, for example, cutting, gluing, and caring for tools. So, as skills and vocabulary expand, preschoolers and kindergartners should have many open ended opportunities and materials to express themselves creatively through it could be through music, drama, dance, and two and three dimensional visual arts. Yes. So let's go to health and safety. We know that this is very necessary, okay? It should be something like this. Lesson plans, play experiences, and classroom materials should help children learn about nutrition. That's very necessary. Children should be taught to identify sources of food. They can learn to recognize, prepare, eat, and value healthy foods. There should be somewhat like classroom experiences and materials that increase children's awareness of safety rules in their classroom, home, and community. They should include teaching children how and when to dial 911, home fire safety, and staying away from hot stoves, irons, or home chemicals. So we teachers should encourage our pupils compliance with classroom rules such as using walking feet, gentle touches, holding handrails, and wearing helmets with bikes, as well as their participation in fire drills and other safety procedures recommended in your community. Example, earthquake, tornado, tsunami, dust, storm, terror, threats, or whatever it is. So for preschooler and kindergarten children, it is developmentally appropriate to learn about visiting doctors and dentists and other aspects of healthcare. These children, they need opportunities to discuss, ask questions, and express fears about getting shot, yeah, taking medicines, and visiting a doctor, dentist clinic, or hospital. Now we're going to proceed to the last one, which is the social studies. Okay. So preschool and kindergarten children can begin to learn about geography and economics. They should be provided experiences and materials to learn about physical characteristics of their local environment, such as nearby rivers, gardens, parks, and buildings. A foundational understanding of economic concepts. Example, the money, buying and selling, wants versus needs. Yes, you can do an activity with this. Then the value of things can begin with such activities as playing restaurant. Yes, so managing a store in identifying and exchanging money. Yes. And also, kindergartners are also ready to learn about their hometown, their state, their somewhat like, yeah, their state and their country of origin. So we teachers should help them link this learning to an understanding of the concepts of geography, history, and social studies in an understandable way wherein they could really digest everything that we are going to tell them. Yes, so thank you everyone for listening. That would be the end of my topic all about um, the learning content 5, using content knowledge to build meaningful curriculum. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.